Hi there, I'm Lyndon Thorpe, and this is Mindful Moments 3. Touch your heart every day. Welcome to LinkedIn members and YouTubers. I'm here 3 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 8 p.m. EDT, 5 p.m. PDT, and then I repost the live so that the European audience can benefit from it. So you'll find it twice on these 2 days. I can only be here 3 days a week, I'm afraid, but I've created a product which takes my place and goes even deeper. It's a daily 30-minute practice for 30 days. And in that time, you can really reconnect with your true nature and find your authentic self, and so be able to act in the world in true authenticity, which is really what we need in these days of AI and so on and so forth. Okay, so today I'm broadcasting from a different location, and a different device. So if you notice any differences, if you're a regular here, then don't worry, nothing wrong. I'm just in a different part of Japan. So I'm traveling around Japan and still continuing to keep in touch with you. So this week then has been a really good week. We've been looking at the bully in the workplace, the polished bully. And we used the film The Devil Wears Prada with Meryl Streep as the case study for that, because it's a brilliant portrayal of Miranda Priestley, a very bullying CEO of a company called Runway, and she's in the fashion line. So it's cutthroat stuff. So she needs to be the way she is, I think, to be so successful. But of course, it's very difficult for her employees. But the good thing about the movie is that she takes on a new employee called Andy, who's very unfashionable, beautiful, but not fashionable, very unaware. She's a writer. She's a real kind of genuine person, you know. And she's terrified of Miranda to begin with. And Miranda really criticizes her heavily, tries to change her image so she'll fit in more. But secretly, she recognizes Andy's talent. And eventually, Andy really wins the situation because Miranda tries to break her, but she is not going to be broken. So she leaves Miranda and starts her own very successful career. So it's a really good example of a very dictatorial boss, but also of an employee that can stand up to it, unlike the others who just become silent. So yes, this kind of CEO can cause terrible problems among employees. And of course, burnout is one of them. And so we need to look closely at why people do that, and how they justify treating their employees so badly, you know. And maybe, I'm hopeful, those kind of CEOs are on the way out, and we're going to bring much more embodiment and so on into leadership in general. So I'm really helping to spearhead this movement of embodiment in the digital era. So during our practice today, please think about your working situation, what kind of boss you've got, or maybe you are a boss, and just imagine how that could change if you have some basic embodiment practices. So let's get started. There are 2 things to begin with. The first one is that to really benefit from this practice, you need to have vertical spine. Of course, if you're sick or you're damaged in some way, then please be comfortable. That's the main thing, because I would like your whole attention for just 30 minutes. Well, less than 30 minutes when we start. So sitting with vertical spine is really important. The crown of your head going up into the sky, the base of your spine down into your seat, and if you're standing, all the weight of your body going down through the feet. It's really important to notice gravity, because in general we're fighting gravity to be able to be upright. And of course, when we're tired, that can create problems. So we lie down or we've got backache or whatever. But actually, when we are vertical, if we really let our lower bodies go, let them be heavy, let them really sit heavily into the chair. If you're standing, really let that weight go down through your feet into the earth. Then once you've got that gravitational grounding, and it feels great. I always love that really heavy feeling in my lower body, so I can sit so safely on my chair. And then a magical thing happens if you give directions to your spine to lengthen. Just a thought, no stretching. This is non-doing. Okay, so really give your direction to your spine to lengthen and let the crown of your head go up into the sky. Then you have a perfect situation. You have solid grounding using gravity, and then you are in a stronger position to withstand the gravitational force and really be upright and enjoy a lengthening spine. Of course, gravity is the natural way the Earth provides for us to stay on the planet. If we didn't have gravity and the force around the Earth, then we'd go off into space and never be heard of again, perhaps. So it's really important to focus on gravity in your life and use it to advantage. Now, the second thing that will happen is I will ring my bell. Every session begins with a bell, and when you detect the vibrations of my bell, please allow your eyelids to soften and to fall, and then just leave a little rim of light open at the bottom of your gaze to stop you from being too sleepy. And that's a real danger. Mindful practice is not really about sleepiness or rest, although they are byproducts, but it's primarily about your heightened awareness. So please feel your heightened awareness during the next 20 minutes. Okay, here's the bell. Wonderful. Okay, now take your time to get comfortable. We're leaving behind the often overwhelming visual world and the intellectual world to come down into your central core, which is quiet, still, and there's nothing to do. No doing for the next 20 minutes. And after that, you'll feel so refreshed. So, take you a moment or two to come down into your core. You may have difficulties switching off the visual images or memories of images, the ideas, the firework display that what I call the brilliant but limited mind throws up for you. So you may have traces of that as we come down into the central core, but in time they'll disappear. Just gently turn them away. Okay, so as you come down into your central unique core, you'll notice two things perhaps. The first is your breath. Yes, when we come down into the mindful world, then we really notice our breath, which is breathing beautifully, a lovely rhythm, perhaps, and don't change anything. Your breath breathes by itself, mostly. But conscious breathing is very beneficial at levels of body, spirit, and mind. So just consciously breathe and enjoy that rhythm. Also, at this stage, notice your shoulders. Are they tight? Are your arms tense? Is your chest relaxed and open? How about the rest of your body? Just do a quick body scan and notice perhaps where you feel tight or tense. And that will change by the end of the practice. Now, the second thing is you may be in the habit of creating images and even words as I speak, because that's what we do in the visual intellectual world. That's what we're trained to do, really. But here, you don't need those. So if you feel the urge to do that, just gently turn away that urge and come back to your central core and just enjoy that stillness. Lovely, you're ready. Let's get started. So, stage one, you're going to gather all your concentration, all your attention and energy into a single bright, hot laser beam. Bring it all together with no distraction from the visual or the intellectual. So you're really focusing all of your attention and all of your energy into this incredible beam, which is unique to you and is so powerful. And this practice will help you to recognize and realize your power as an individual being. Your body, your spirit, and your mind all focused together. Wonderful. So now, the first stage, we're going to slide that incredible laser beam outside your immediate environment, outside your walls and windows, outside your roof and ceiling, if you're in a vehicle, outside the vehicle, and if you're already outdoors, as far afield as you can. And we're going to start scanning the outer environment meticulously, inch by inch. We are detecting any vibrations there. And when we encounter a vibration, we're going to pause, accept, and move on. No need to guess what the vibration is. No need to label it. We don't need labels or symbols here in the mindful world. So just pause, accept the vibration exactly as it is, and move on. Pause, accept, move on. But keep scanning as far afield as you can, knowing that animals and tribal peoples who live close to the earth can scan up to 10-mile radius with their whole body. Yes, this is whole body awareness. So you're going to scan your outer environment from the crown of your head right down to the tips of your toes. Like a tiger in the jungle, creeping through the undergrowth, and every vibration in that environment represents something which contributes to survival. Maybe the next meal, or maybe a threat. So a big cat hunting is 100% alert. Every skin pore, every hair follicle is alive and alert. Wonderful. Scanning above, up into the sky, below, down into the earth, to the left, to the right, in front and behind. Scanning meticulously, whether the vibration is near or far, large or small. When you encounter it, pause, accept, and move on. Wonderful. Okay, let's move to stage 2. You're going to slide your incredible laser beam, which is now even hotter, even brighter, even more penetrating. It represents all your attention, no distractions. So slide that laser beam inside your immediate environment, inside your windows and walls, inside your roof and ceiling. If you're in a vehicle, inside the vehicle. And if you're outdoors, then up to a 30-meter radius around you. And just scan up to that limit. And off you go. Start scanning meticulously with your whole body, from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. Scanning above, up into your ceiling corners, up into the sky, up to the roof of your interior if you're in a vehicle. Below, down into the basement, down under the furniture, and right up, down into the earth if you're outside, to the left, to the right, in front and behind. Every vibration, no matter how small, how large, and we're not going to label or guess what they are. We're just going to accept and move on. Pause, accept, and move on. So you scan as much of your interior environment as you possibly can. And while you go on scanning, let me bring your attention to your breath. Keep scanning and just listen to more adulation of your incredible breath. Your breath is miraculous. We breathe between 20 and 24,000 times every single 24 hours for 50, 60, 70, 80, even 90 years of life. And breath is life. Without it, we can't exist. And you will know this if you've experienced not being able to breathe. My heart goes out to you if you suffer from asthma or some breathing problem. Terrifying, I think. But it is literally your life. And we take it for granted, utterly, mostly. So in mindful practice, it's a marvelous thing to breathe consciously with the rhythm, to follow that rhythm, and also to feel deep down inside you incredible gratitude for your breath. Not words about gratitude, not descriptions, not images, but feelings of gratitude. And at first you may not be able to feel them, but with time you will. It begins for me right down in my lower abdomen. Incredible gratitude. And it wells up towards my heart. Can bring tears, it can bring smiles. I'm so grateful to be alive. Being human is difficult. We struggle through the birth canal, we get out into the world, and then the breath is there, always there to sustain us. The planet provides that breathable air, and it's the only planet we know of that does. So this is something to be so joyful for. So, yeah, really feel gratitude welling up for your breath and your incredible relationship with the earth. Yeah, we are earth dwellers. We tend to neglect the earth, take it for granted. But this is a point in your day when you can really celebrate it. Wonderful. Let's move to stage 3. This is the final stage. Please bring your incredible laser beam, hot, bright, penetrating, inside your body, right down to the tips of the toes, and start to scan along the tops of your feet, along the soles of your feet towards the heels, scanning meticulously, detecting vibrations from your bones and ligaments and muscles. Everything gives off a vibration in our world. Then slide your laser beam up into your ankle joints. Make space inside them. Bring heat and light inside those joints. And soften your cartilages. Start to scan up your lower leg, little by little, detecting vibrations and loosening any tightness, illuminating any darkness. And when you detect a vibration, pause, accept, and move on. No need to guess or label. Up into your calf muscles. These are often hard from the bombardment of gravity and maybe poor posture, tiredness, and so on. So take your laser mind inside your calf muscles, soften them, warm them up. Slide up into your knee joints, make space and light inside those joints so they can be even freer. There's a lot of mobility in our joints, but this practice will make them even freer. Then start to scan along or up, if you're standing, your thigh, the longest area of bone and muscle in most humans, scanning meticulously, inch by inch. And when you encounter a vibration, pause, accept, and move on. Eventually, you encounter the torso, and at the base of your torso is a very important energy center, We can call it the base chakra. It's the place of birth for women, of procreation for men, and elimination for all of us. So human beings have to eliminate the toxins that build up in their bodies. If not, they die. So really acknowledge this energy center, hot center in your body. And nearby, you'll find the coccyx bones. These are 3 to 5 tiny bones at the tail end of your spine. Scan up those. And then the sacrum, which is a spade-shaped bone, quite a big bone at the base of the spine, which helps us to bear weight. Scan up that. Then we come to the lumbar spine. These are chunky bones separated by discs, bone, disc, bone, disc. And you're going to go up the back of your body now in the center, climbing up the vertebral column, bone, disc, up behind your intestines, working away, processing food, bone, disc, up behind your solar plexus, your center of gravity, bone, disc. And as the bones climb up, they get smaller. The discs smaller too. Bone, disc, up behind your diaphragm, the principal breathing muscle of the body. Bone, disc. And eventually you encounter the rib cage. Inside the rib cage, all your vital organs, and the most magnificent is your heart. It's emanating electromagnetic vibrations 60 times stronger than your brain. Climb up behind your heart, bone, disc, and right up in the top part of your chest, your lungs, flickering away, processing oxygen so that you can live and you can thrive. Bone, disc, and eventually you reach the notch on the back of your neck. You can reach up and touch it if it helps you. And from here on up, the cervical spine or the neck spine is much smaller now. Bone, disc. And then the spine disappears up inside the skull. Right at the top of your spine, just above the level of your ear, top of your ear, is your atlas joint. And this is a pivot joint. The skull balances on this pivot joint, and it's held in place only by muscles of the head, neck, and upper back. So really feel that incredible mobility on your skull. Human beings have over 10,000 different orientations of the head and facial expressions in order to communicate. And we are potentially master communicators. And there you have it, the crown of your head above the sky and the universe, under your feet, the planet, and your spine has lengthened by at least 1 centimeter with no doing, simply the power of your laser mind. And I hope you feel as wonderful as I do at this point. When you detect the vibrations of my bell, please allow your eyelids to float open and gaze softly ahead. Wonderful. Hope you feel as good as I do. Please leave me a comment if you do. That would be great. And yes, know that this is your anchorage. From this strong position of breath, spine, and whole body awareness, you can successfully navigate the visual, intellectual world without succumbing to burnout. This will keep you balanced, body, spirit, and mind. But it's not a quick fix. It's something you have to cultivate every day. And I'd like you to acknowledge any kind of shift you've sensed today and know that that is a sign of commitment. If you've noticed a difference through this practice, then it's time to commit yourself to doing it every single day. In that way, you'll always be protected, you'll always have a strong anchorage, and the visual, intellectual world will not overwhelm you. So, please make a commitment to that. And as I mentioned earlier, you can get my lifetime license for Lodestone. Lodestone is a digital product. It's an audio transmission, me guiding you every day for 30 days. And in that time, you'll really reconnect with yourself and be able to be authentic all the time and to communicate in a very different way. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you again next Tuesday, the 19th of May, same time, same place, and I'll be reposting this to the European time zone later today. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye for now.